Hi everybody from TechnoLost, so welcome to this dedicated focus on the gaming capabilities for what concerns this Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 2014 edition. What we will see tonight, some games running on this device. We have Asphalt 8, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Real Racing 3, Into the Dead Trigger 2, Shadowgun Deadzone, Buggy Blitz, Riptide GP 2, FIFA 14 and Virtua Tennis. So let's start with the first one of the set, which is Asphalt 8. Usually I've been used to try this game on several Android devices and even top-notch devices, but usually they don't have such great result with this game because it seems to be really heavy. So I'm pretty curious to see how does this this Galaxy Note 10.1 behave with this game. Just let me show you, I've already set up the graphical details to the maximum possible quality. So let's start the race. Although I set up the tablet language to English, don't know why, but the game is still in Italian. So let's run with the season race. Okay, the first race of the set. Here we go, let's go. So we'll see in a few seconds if this Nexus 10.1 is a good player for this game. Here we have some starting, as you can see, so definitely not nice beginning. But aside that starting, I see things is really flying now. So the beginning of the game was fortunately nothing to be worried about. This was just for the intro maybe, but the game is running very good. We don't have any kind of problem right now. At least maybe the only big problem is me, that I'm not a good driver. And let me tell you, it's such a pleasure to play such good looking game on this Nexus 10.1, which has a gorgeous display. 2560 for 1600 is a huge resolution. Nevertheless, we have very good viewing angles. We have very good color saturation. It's such a pleasure to use this device with this gorgeous screen, and moreover using such nice game with very high detail texture is a really pleasure. Okay, so apart from the driver, which is terrible, me of course, the game seems to be pretty nice. We don't have any kind of problem aside the intro where we saw the video starting a little bit, but right now during whole the game long seems like everything is running perfectly smoothly. Did you see the airplane flying? Was perfect, no kind of problem really. Very good. So this is Asphalt 8 running on this Note 10.1 2014 edition. Now let's see Need for Speed Most Wanted. This is another game which is not easy to see it running perfectly on an Android device at least. So I'm really curious to see this 10.1 Note, how does if it does work out with this game. So we don't have any set up for the graphical details here. The game most of the times run at the highest possible quality automatically. As you can see, the graphic details is stunning, really incredible. And aside from this little star at the beginning, seems like everything is running pretty good, very smooth and fluid, pretty fast too. Sorry for the incident. Oh, what a turbo driver am I. As you can see, the graphic quality is really high. I'm talking about reflection, texture quality, and very good. Moreover, it seems to be extremely smooth. You know, I've been able just to see few other devices running this game that smooth, and one of those devices I can remember was the Galaxy Note 2, which was pretty good. The Note 3, for instance, was not as good as the Note 2 or even, you know, this Note 10.1. The main reason maybe was that of course the Note 2 had such lower resolution, but here we are talking about crazy resolution, 2560 for 1600, which is really insane. Anyway, everything is running in, you know, perfect way. Very good. It's pretty amazing this running this Need for Speed Most Wanted or this Note 10.1. Now let's see Real Racing 3 from the same developer studio of Need for Speed Most Wanted. We'll see in a few. There are 5 monkeys, of course. We'll see in a few seconds how this game is running on this Note 10.1. Okay, here in the intro everything seems to be running very smooth. Let's see the game itself, how does behave. Okay, let's perform the needed steps in order to start the race. Okay, brake, change camera, and here we go. I can tell you for sure that I just put the game in pause. Give a look to the car here on the left, and you will notice that there are some, you know, like fragmentation. It's not perfectly, you know, sharp. I guess the problem is that the game automatically set up the graphical details to a very low quality. Look at this. The car definitely is not sharp. Even this wire here. Look at this. Look at them. You know, seems like we have quite low resolution to this game. Don't know why, but we don't have any kind of possibility to set up the graphical details as we could on into other games, like for instance Asphalt 8. Here the game itself decides which are the best settings for graphical details depending on the platform where the game is running on. But definitely here seems like the, you know, the device seems to underrate the game seems to underrate the device power, so it's running a quite low resolution. I mean, frame rate is very high, definitely this is good, but we missing some sharpness and not, you know, quite a lot of sharpness and texture details, and it's really a pity. I don't know whether using app like Real Racing 3 graphical details app that you can find into the Play Store helps in, you know, running the game at a better graphical details. Nevertheless, if I'm not wrong, you know, the last time I've been using such app was quite a long time ago, and I'm not pretty sure whether we need the privilege. I guess we need them both for changing graphical details and even to save the new settings for graphical details. Not pretty sure, but if I can't remember, well, we need privilege. So there's no straightforward way to enable a better graphical details into this Note 10.1 for this Real Racing 3. At least we will need maybe a new update for the game, who knows. So let's see into that right now. I'm not expecting anything particular from this game, which is pretty addictive, but you know, it doesn't have that extraordinary graphical details or stuff like this. Just to show you that I've already set up the graphical details to the highest level, So we can now play the game. Oh, okay. Now we can play the game. Here we go. Very, very nice display for this Note 10.1, really. Look, the game is pretty fast, sorry. No problem, focus on speed and smoothness, of course. Okay, we can take a weapon here. No, what a loser. Okay, maybe it's better this way, otherwise this game is pretty addictive, but can be quite a long game. And this was into that with this Galaxy Note 10.1. So let's change the game. The next one, oh, this is really interesting. That trigger too. You know, I've been in love with the first that trigger. And this that trigger 2 is nothing but a better, bigger, harder game. It's very, very nice. Just a few seconds to show you that I've already set up the graphical details to the maximum level. Settings, performance is high. This is the high and this is the low. So we are running with high. So let's get back and let's start the game. Here too, don't know why I still have the Italian language, although I've already set up the language of the tablet to English. Okay, here we go. Look at this. Look how fast is this game. Insane. We have very nice lens flare effect. Look at this. Very nice. We have really high details for concern texture quality, very high texture quality, and it's such a pleasure to play this game. I mean, this game does even support the gamepad, so if you have a gamepad like for instance the Xbox 360 USB gamepad, I do really suggest you to try running this game with a gamepad. It's such a pleasure, believe me, because it makes everything easier and very, very enjoyable. Look, here we are, running everything in perfect smoothness. I do remind you that we have 10.1 inches diagonal display with a resolution on 2560 for 1600. Is incredibly high resolution. Anyway, everything is running perfectly. Okay, so I'd better stop here, otherwise I will go on all night long. So I'm not Lionel Richie, so it's better to stop here. And the next game is Deadzone, made by the same development studio of That Trigger 2, the Mad Fingers. This game is pretty nice. It's a multiplayer game, and of course is a third-person shooter. It does remind me of game like, for instance, Gears of War from the Xbox 360. Very, very nice, and especially if, like I will show you in a few seconds, you set up the graphical details to ultra high quality. It's insane, but the details are very, very nice. This game, of course, as for the first the game before this one, That Trigger 2, both games support perfectly the USB gamepad. So this Shadowgun Deadzone became even a multi-platform game. So we can see we run the game against people having Android or iOS devices, and this last version 2.0 was even ported to, you know, home PC and Mac, so you can run it even on PC or Mac. Although I think that if you use home platform like PC or Mac, indeed you cannot play against people having the mobile version. Maybe it's just a reason for, you know, in terms of fairness, using the control of, you know, like keyboard or mouse is much easier to play those kind of games. So maybe just for the sake of I thought I was on the cover, but was not. Okay, let's put in 1 second. Here we go. Did you see how good is the graphic details of this game? Very good. Where are you? Oh. I'm not a good player, but this game is so nice. Very nice, really. Where are you? Oh, that's me, my fault. And this is, maybe it's better to stop here. This is Shadowgun Deadzone running on this Note 10.1 2014 edition. This is Buggy Blitz, a game originally made as a showcase for the Tegra 3 hardware platform. Later on it was ported on any other platform, but as you can see, it definitely is not optimized for platform but the Tegra 3 one or the Tegra family in general. Here the graphical details are already set up to the maximum possible level, so let's play the game. This game too does support the gamepad, and usually this game stutters a little bit in some kind of a random way. It's not easy to know, you know, where this game will start stuttering and when, and even why. Because sometimes there's no reason, you know, you make a lap and the game starts starting at a certain point, and the lap after you know it stutters in another one point of the lap. So it's definitely there's no reason. As you can see right now, the game is running pretty well. It doesn't seem to have any kind of lag at all, but I'm pretty sure that it will. You can be sure that it will. Okay, this is me, which is not definitely a good player in almost any kind of game I play. It's some kind of a chronic disease. I'm not a good player, sorry. And this is Buggy Blitz. Now let's go on. The next game is Riptide GP 2, made by Vector Units once more, as for the Buggy Blitz, but this one is pretty a recent game. Very nice, you know, an updated effect like lens flare or even motion blur, you know, transparency effect for concerned water. Very nice. Let me show you the graphical details set up to the maximum possible quality, even here. So now we can start the game. And let's see this Riptide GP2. As you can see, the game is very fast to to start up. You don't have to wait such a long time, just maybe 2 seconds and you can start the race. Very good. I've already set up the accelerometer for controlling the player, which is definitely not the best option with this big tablet right now and the camera in front of me, but that's it. Did you see the graphical details? Very good, very high, very nice water transparency effect. We've been underwater. And as you can see, everything is running smoothly, really no problem. Look at this motion blur effect, as I told you. Very good, well done. So it's really a pleasure to play this game with this Note 10.1. Generally, it's a pleasure to play almost any game with this Note 10.1, which is proved to be till now such a powerful device with a gorgeous screen, both for what concern high resolution, but even for what concern color saturation, viewing angles and brightness. Is very, very good display. So this was Riptide GP2. Now let's start FIFA 14. Sorry, this game is pretty recent and is maybe the graphic details of this game don't seem to be so high. Maybe it's just due to the fact that the default camera view is quite a decent view, so it's not easy to spot the details of the players and all that stuff. But when you see replays in other section of the game, you can really appreciate how the graphic details of the players is very good. And even the faces of certain players are really, really well done. Oh, sorry, not well done. They are, very well reproduced. Okay. Do not forget how terrible am I in playing games, so bear with me for my performance. Thanks for giving me back the balls. Seems to be some kind of tutorial activated which suggests me how to do certain stuff. You must know that I'm such a loser in playing this game. No, bad passage. So you can see, oh come on, this tutorial is very, very annoying. I must have some kind of assisted passage too, because even if I change the direction of the ball, what's up? Oh my, who's this guy? Could not recognize him. Okay. Aside my, horrible performance with this FIFA 14, the game is pretty good. Not bad at all. Okay, this is FIFA 14 running on the Note 10.1. At least you saw that we didn't have any kind of problem running this game. The last game that I want to show you is Virtua Tennis. Quite a old game right now, but it remains one of the best games of tennis for the Play Store. The game does support the the gamepad, USB gamepad. So it's such a pleasure to play this game with the gamepad too. I mean, if you give a look to the graphical details, it's not bad, but definitely when you have replay or that kind, of sequence when there's, a much zoomed in view, you will notice like this for sure that the graphic details of the texture is definitely not that high, at least not on par with the most recent games. The Tempo 1 does even has the vibration, and it's pretty nice with this game because it does use the vibrations like some kind of force feedback when you perform a very strong shot. Well, definitely not only when you perform a strong shot, but in some certain situation you have like now a small vibration. Oh, come on. I don't know why I don't want to do a backspin. No, not the chop. Oh, come on. Sorry guys, finally, I love tennis, and I really like this game, although as I told you the graphic details is maybe it's not the best on the planet right now. So this was the last game for today, which is indeed Virtua Tennis. So just to sum up, this Note 10.1 proved to be maybe the best Android tablet nowadays for playing games, both for what concern the power of this device, which is very very high. I mean, Snapdragon 800, 3GB of LPDDR3 memory, and Adreno 330. But even for this gorgeous screen, 2560 for 1600 resolution, very very high resolution, 300 pixel per inch density, but most of all very very good color saturation, viewing angles and brightness. Very good device for playing games on Android. So for what concerns this dedicated focus on the Galaxy Note 10.1 2014 edition and games, that's all. Once more, thanks for watching and bye from TechnoLost.